voters, all them Negro voters that think, and Hispanic voters that think voting has done something for them in the last 50 years. And obviously it hasn't, because, we still got the knee on a goddamn neck. We still at the bottom of every statistical category that you can think about. Our people are still locked up on the border. Children missing right there on the border. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters are separated from their children. Wives separated from husbands. Husbands can't even protect their wives or anything. You know what I'm saying? It's all going right there on the border. You know what I'm saying? And one of them campaign things that Biden ran on was helping them folks out that was on the border. You know what I'm saying? And this video right there we finna get into shows, I believe it was like a little, what's the vice president name again? What's the bitch name? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was doing, I don't believe it was a debate, but yeah, it was like a little, I don't even think it was a campaign speech, but she was doing an interview with somebody. And talking about how bad Trump was and his immigration policies, and then talking about what America supposedly so-called stands for, and then we gonna.
We have always presented ourselves as being a nation of strength with strong arms, that when people are fleeing harm, we will embrace them. But look at what has happened with this administration. There are children who are fleeing murder capitals of the world. Let's be clear about this. Imagine a mother who makes a decision to pay a coyote to transport her child across the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril. She does that because she believes for that child to stay where they are is worse. But what does this president do? He virtually looks at those children and says, go back to where you came from. What do we have in this president? A policy that was about taking children, separating them from their parents, and calling it border security. No, that was a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government, and it is against the morals and the values of who we are as a nation.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
That bitch switched it up quick, didn't she?
Real quick.
She was running. She was all, they trying to come over here. They need help. They need this to. Now she done won and offered, do not come.
And then what was it? A couple weeks ago, it was what was it? 100 million Afghanistans was flown over here from Afghanistan by America, flown over here, gave them special visas and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really, what that is, that's a slap in the goddamn face to all our Mexican brothers and sisters that's still locked up on the goddamn border. And it's a slap into our Haitian brothers and sisters' face. They're stuck up under the bridge right there between Mexico, right there on the Mexico-Texas borderline. That's a slap in the goddamn face.
Us and HBK, what we've been trying to tell people is that the world is showing who the Israelites is.
That's right.
The world, they not hiding. They ain't just specifically picking on the South Americans, the Haitians, the Negroes, the Gadites on the reservation. It just ain't no coincidence that the Puerto Ricans had a hurricane, and I heard they still don't got electricity.
Still ain't getting no aid.
Haitians died from the earthquake, and they run over here for safety, for help.
So it's like, if I could real quick.
But the Afghanistans get flown in on a jet, not even a jet, whatever, like Air Force One or something. I don't know, so I ain't too good with flying, but I'm just saying.
If I could real quick, when did the Clinton Foundation screw over Puerto Rico and Haiti as well? I know it was over Haiti.
It sounds right to me. The white man is a devil.
So I got something. Go ahead.
And this slap, if I could, sir. It's amazing how Trump was calling Mexicans rapists.
Right.
Did you see the two of them people from Afghanistan are rape cases? That's awesome.
He do want that officer. That's right.
What you saying? heavy.
I'm telling you, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it.
Also, we gotta shut up Black Watch News every time.
Right.
Black Watch News, you gotta go to Black Watch News. Commander Jay Hunter's show is every Monday, it's every Saturday. He do videos in between, so you just gotta subscribe to his YouTube, feel me, and just check out his videos. And
Right.
they brought that out. I didn't know that, and if it
Right.
wasn't for Black Watch News, I wouldn't have known.
Right.
And the Afghanistan people was already raping.
Right.
They already raping, they already molesting, doing what heathens do. If I could give me Isaiah 56 and 9 and 10.
Play some video real quick.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal.
Hold on. Didn't Biden say you ain't black if you ain't vote for him?
So, the Mexicans ain't black or something?
Mexicans ain't black. Them Haitians ain't black.
That's what I'm saying. What's up?
Them Haitians ain't black. I know they ain't black enough for Africa, because Africa turned them down. But I mean, goddamn, they ain't black.
I can't wait till our king return, man.
Shit, what you said?
So I cannot wait.
methods by which migration can and should occur.
But
He
yeah,
just switched up completely.
But yeah, you say
He
talking about
the
this.
whole 360.
Talking about this whole country was built on immigration, was built on people fleeing from harsh situations. They're trying to come.
Start from the beginning. That what you saying is so heavy, but they gotta see that, man.
As being a nation of strength with strong arms. That when people are fleeing harm, we will embrace them. But look at what has happened with this administration.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come.
It's a lot.
Do not come.
Man, if you don't make a clip out of that, man, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, this whole list thing right here is gonna be a clip. But yeah, but it pisses me off that they let all them terrorists, ISIS, Afghanistan, Muslim, camel toe eating motherfuckers in. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot.
They still pause. But they got our brothers, our Mexican brothers and sisters on the border still locked up in cages.
Hey, what the Bible say? Matter of fact, we'll bring that out next one, but the scripture, but the Bible says Israel and Judah were pressed together. They was pressed together.
Okay.
What's going on right now? Israel, that's the northern kingdom, the Mexicans, and Judah, the Levite part of the southern kingdom. They what? On the border pressed together.
Pressed together. That's heavy.
Prophecy.
That's heavy.
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 10.
9.
Verse 9. All ye beasts of the field.
All the nations, because you got to understand back in Genesis, it said the serpent was no such out of any beast of the field. Them was races of people that Moses, feel me? Because Moses wrote the book of Genesis, and he got that from the Most High, feel me? And he compared them to beasts of the field, and he said the serpent was the most slickest one, but not the only one, the slickest.
Come to devour. Yea, all beasts in the forest.
Right. All the beasts of the field come to devour. They all coming. She's a white woman, mixed with a little East Indian on her mother's side.
Verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
Right, his watchmen are blind. Our leaders in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community is not watching out for these people, man. They not watching out for these snakes. Feel me? These snakes out there. That's why the serpent was compared to a snake. That's why it was called a serpent. Because they're snakes, man. That's what we call them in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. Somebody we cannot trust, like Kamala Harris.
Right.
They are all ignorant. They are all dumb
They are
dogs.
dumb dogs. Isaiah is saying, well, really it's the Lord, but he's talking to Isaiah, and Isaiah say that all our leaders, man, are dumb dogs, man. You know what a dog is? A bitch.
Right.
So like, they dumb bitches.
They cannot bark.
They cannot bark. They not even a dog barks to let you know danger is coming.
Right.
Somebody breaking in the house, somebody coming too close to the fence, somebody getting too close. You need to watch. Come here. Come see what's going on. They're not barking. Our leaders in the Black community is not barking.
Sleeping.
They sleeping. They sleep. They knocked out, not even paying attention.
Lying down.
Lying down. They comfortable. They chilling, while he's suffering.
Loving to slumber.
Salakia. Salakia, man. The Bible is a black man's book. It's talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Our leaders are dumb dogs, and they don't bark. They mutts, basically. Our leaders are mutts, man. Anybody can come about the Lord's people, man. We don't have no leaders. The leaders are in the HBK under Commander Giuliani. That's something I'm gonna bring up.
God. Give me Psalms 55 and 21. Because what we had to understand is all that campaign speech, you know what I'm saying, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. All that what was she carry hot sauce? What was it? She carry hot sauce listening to
greens with a hamburger.
Listening to Tupac. Listening to Tupac
with a hamburger. We eat greens, we eat hamburgers, we don't eat them together. We eat greens with fried chicken and cornbread. We eat hamburgers with fries. It's that simple. Harris, you didn't know that because you was joking because our leaders are dumb dogs.
Let me finish this video.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back. So let's discourage our friends, our neighbors, our family members from embarking on what is otherwise an extremely dangerous journey.
Go ahead whenever you got that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Now, everything she said at the beginning of that video, that just sounded so good. You know what I'm saying? When Biden said you ain't black if you ain't vote for him, I mean, all that shit sounded real good. He talking about how they gonna help the Hispanic brothers and sisters on the border and get them out of them cages. All that shit sounded real good, but what?
But war was in his heart.
But war is in his heart, and as you can tell, war is definitely in their heart because they don't give a damn about them Hispanic brothers and sisters on the border, still in cages. They don't give a damn about the Haitian brothers and sisters that's up under that bridge in the Texas heat, in the Texas Mexico heat. That ain't like Louisville heat. That's a whole nother heat over there. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother heat. I'm pretty sure they come from Haiti, so I can't, you know what I'm saying, it probably can't be too far off. But you know what I'm saying, still though, they ain't got the food and water and the access to other stuff as they had when they were before all them disasters hit Haiti. Go ahead. Does it end on that? Go ahead.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yeah, but they drawn swords, and as soon as they got that goddamn chance, they drew them swords and stopped them brothers. And another thing, I was watching Blackwatch the other night, and I didn't even see this till Commander Jim Rihanna said something. When they was hitting them brothers with them horses, knocking them back into the water, hitting them with the whips, they was letting the sisters walk on through. Sisters was walking on through, you know what I'm saying? They probably finna end up in their missing number, them 27,000 Native American women missing. They probably finna end up with that number. All them children missing on the border, all them Hispanic brothers or sisters missing on the border. They probably finna end up making that number even higher because they was just letting them women on through. And if they going through and leaving the man back, then they got nobody to protect them. Now what they were saying, they in separate warehouses. They got the men on one warehouse, women and children on the other. So the men ain't there to protect the women no more. Damn, that sounds familiar, don't it? That sounds just like what they did to us here in America during slavery. That sounded like the motherfucking Willie Lynch letter to a T.
I'm telling you, man, they not hiding who the Israelites is, man.
Right.
The Bible ain't hiding it. The world ain't hiding it. Only people hiding it is who? Them dumb dogs that don't bark, which are the leaders.